Welcome back, humans! You know what day it is. And before I get started, I would appreciate it if you would smash that like button, hit me with a subscription, and turn on those notifications, because I'm here twice a week, humans. My name is Jaime, and I am ready to vent. Welcome back. Welcome back, humans. Or if you're new, welcome. Just flat out welcome. But anyways, I'm going to start off with some little fight talk. I got a little excited. I was looking for the next big fight. There was one fight I was waiting for from that Tiafimo guy. It seemed like it took like 8 months, and now the fight's finally going to happen. No, it took for fucking ever. I guess that fight's coming up, but I don't even care about that fight right now, because Canelo's fighting this dude Caleb Plant, and man, this seems like it's going to be a really good fight. I don't know about you guys, but I'm really excited about this fight. They did the press conference. These guys started talking their stuff. Caleb Plant's, trying to sell the fight, doing his thing. And, then they do they say what they got to say from both sides of the fight camps. Then they got to go do their, the first face-off. The first face-off of the opponents. It's the first time they're seeing each other before the fight camps are going on. And, the fight's, I think, in November. So this is like the beginning of the training. And, there's like, it's the presser. They got to start selling this thing. So they do their face-off, and it looks pretty good at first. Everybody seems kind of respectful. And then they get to each other's faces, and they start talking to each other. And Canelo is from Mexico, and his English isn't that good, but it seems like it's improving a lot, because he even explained this afterwards, that he's been working on his English. So this is what caused the altercation. Apparently, Caleb Plant was talking some junk, and then during that altercation, Canelo didn't like what he said. He believes he crossed the line with some of the things he said. And then, Canelo pushed him, put hands on him. And then Caleb Plant come in and try to do a little sucker punch, a little sucker slap, maybe just a slap. I don't think his hand was open. So he went to go slap Canelo. And Canelo's just instincts were just right there, like lightning fast instincts. Canelo just, slips that punch or that slap. Comes back with his own, double slap. I don't know if that punch, I don't know if it was an uppercut or if it was a slap. But he countered him so sweet. He was just like, boy, countered him real quick. And what's his name? Caleb Plant's got a little cut on his cheek now from his glasses, getting knocked off his head. And man, if that's a little sign of what the fight's going to go down, man, Caleb, you're in trouble. In my opinion, you're in trouble. When I first saw the fight called and I was seeing some of Caleb Plant's highlights, I'm like, man, this guy can fight. He's a pretty big guy and knows how to use his size and, nice jab and can actually box, right? But then he came over there and tried to slap Canelo, and Canelo was like, too fast. He was like, gave him a quick little two-piece, like cha-cha. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, oh, man, after seeing all that, you're in trouble, man. If this is the way he left it, man, that was you better be ready, because that boy was quick. He gave him a quick stinger, too, man. But I'm excited about this fight, and that kind of hyped it up a lot, and then, they interview Canelo afterwards, and like I said earlier, he explains that he's been working on his English, because he's from Mexico, and he was like, he goes, I've been working on my English, so I understood what he said, motherfucker. With his English. And a lot of people that don't know Canelo, Saul Alvarez, his nickname is Canelo. He doesn't look like the stereotypical Hispanic or Mexican. I happen to be Mexican, and I don't look it myself. I get it different stuff, but this dude really doesn't. He looks more like he has like red hair and freckles. Like he looks like maybe he could be like an Irish person or something, maybe. But then when you hear him talk, he's his English isn't that good because he's from Mexico. He's from Mexico, man. He just speaks Spanish all the time, and so it's a wild. So for some people that see him for the first time, but when I was younger, I was like, oh wow, you know what I mean. And then some people from over there, a lot of people have different genes, man. It just happens that way, and it was just funny, man. But anyways, that it was funny when see him coming up. A lot of people were saying, even the announcers were like, "Hey, this is different." But anyways, I'm hyped for this fight, and I think I'm picking Canelo for this fight. Caleb's a really good boxer. Maybe he has a better game plan, but that slap didn't look like that was a good game plan at all. Like trying to go first on Canelo wasn't the good game plan. He's a really good counterpuncher, as we see. He already laid you with a two-piece and left you with a little reminder about it. They're like, hey, look what's coming. This time, but next time it's going to be fists. Man, I feel like Caleb Plant's in trouble, man. I ain't even lying. I think he's in trouble. He's in trouble. And then earlier today, man, it was an upset in the heavyweight game. Psh. Oh, my goodness. This guy looks like he's just, like, unbeatable. He looks like a video game. What do you call that when they used to turn up all the cheats in the games? Like the game sliders. Or he was, like, just cheat character. And I'm talking about Anthony Joshua. This dude looks like you just can't beat him. But he has a couple losses. And he lost today, man, in an upset against, I forget how you say his last name, like Usyk or something like that. And he's a heavyweight fighter that nobody even really knows. He comes to the face-off in a Joker suit. He literally had like Joaquin Phoenix's like Joker suit on, and they were both really respectful with each other. And it was just really it was really cool to see all that good sportsmanship. But then they get in the ring, and then you're looking at this dude like, I've never heard of this guy. I've never seen this dude, but apparently he's got a good record. Then everybody else knows who he is and said he can box. They said he can do the thing. So the fight starts. And this fight was on earlier today because it was in another country. I think it was in, I'm not sure if he's from the UK. I think that's where Anthony Joshua was from, somewhere there. I think that's where they fought because it was like the fight was on in like an early time today because it was, shooting somewhere else live. And anyways, so the fight goes off, and from round one all the way, man, this guy came in there and just started schooling, outboxing Anthony Joshua. I mean, he came in there and just started banging Joshua's brains in. He just had, he looked confused. He looked real confused, like when Andy Ruiz fought him. And he rocked Andy Ruiz, and he got back up, and then he got caught with this one, and he was just off balance the whole time. And it seems like, I don't know, something happened in that middle round somewhere where, he just couldn't, he was just off the whole time because my man was just there. And he had some good movement. My man was just sticking and moving. And they gave him the decision at the end. And I was like, man, I was like a crazy upset. I was just tripping out on that. But then, and speaking of the heavyweight game, we got the Wilder and Fury fight coming. The trilogy fight. And, they're talking some good smack. And then they're, I kind of don't like that they're not doing a lot of stuff together. Like the way the Canelo and Caleb Plant was doing and the other fighters do. I don't know why, because I feel like last time they were together when they did their, face-off for this new fight, Deontay Wilder, I felt like he bitched out a little bit. Like he wasn't even talking trash. And he was wearing sunglasses and just looking at the ground. And not even looking at him, talking to him. He was talking to the moderator. And my man was looking right at him I'm going to punch your face and, with his accent, or sorry if that's the wrong accent, but it was just crazy, man. He was just playing, he was right in his face saying, you ain't going to do nothing. You look just as scared now as you did as the last fight. Hey, my man was just I'm just saying this one sentence or something like that, and, off with his head or something stupid. And so now everything else has been all kind of they're not together. And I would like to see them more because I feel like Wilder is still shook mentally. I think he's still shook mentally. Because a lot of fighters, not everybody goes undefeated like Floyd and some other fighters, Sugar Ray Robinson or whatever, and a lot of undefeated fighters. Some of them take losses, and they're still great fighters. A lot of them are. And I just think it's crazy, man. Wilder's just taking it, way, way too serious. I don't know. He's just taking it, it's really affecting him in the head, I think. But in this fight, I don't know. I'm kind of leaning towards Tyson Fury just because he dominated, both fights. I mean, he did really well. And, I know Wilder did rock him in that last round, but he got back up and, finished the show, man. He finished, took care of business, and got through the fight and still won. And then the second fight, he, dominantly won. He really beat the crap out of Wilder. So I'm kind of leaning towards Tyson Fury right now, and he just looks really awkward. When I first saw the matchup in the first fight, I was just leaning towards Wilder just because I thought Fury looked all weird and awkward and like goofy, with his weird movements and all that. And then you see him against the guy who just really didn't have no boxing technique, really, because he exposed Wilder, really, because all that weird wild movement technique was just too much for the guy who just had like the one trick pony. He had the one big punch, you know what I'm saying? And I was just like, man, it was crazy. So then I started, it's kind of weird and awkward, but I still kind of respect it, even though it's weird. I don't like it, but it's still like I respect it. But I'm leaning towards Fury on that one. But anyways, on with the events, shall we? This is some local, this is a little vent on some local news here. Here we got another awesome dumb criminal. Not awesome, really, but it's just an awesome story about a dumb criminal. Here in local Michigan, in Royal Oak. A man was arrested. Policemen and police officers have a tough job as it is. And then you come across, with criminals and, violent criminals and things like that. Then you got those weird, oddball, goofy, weird characters you got to go encounter all the time. Whether it's a crazy homeless man or a crazy addict being all silly and crazy and animated or something like that. But this guy was pulled over in his car. And when they they told him, get out of the car, he was in full bondage gear. They said he was in full bondage gear. Whatever it is, it wasn't too specific. Full bondage gear. I guess whatever you could think of. I guess he had it on. And, sorry about that. I was like, man, that'd be so embarrassing. Or even if you were wearing that weird costume at a Halloween party, even though we're nowhere near Halloween. So, you can't use that as an excuse. My man had nothing to do. He just got arrested. They were like, sir, get out of the car. I guess he was charged for indecent exposure. And, he was in full bondage gear, humans. It's like, or what if you and your wife were doing some role-playing things or spicing up the relationship, and you went, and tried to, I'm going to come home in this. I'm going to surprise them. And you guys were just getting out into that extra kinky stuff. I'm not judging. I'm just saying if you went to this level. I'm saying, and you went to go surprise your wife. You're like, I'm going to put this shit on and just come home in it. You know what I'm saying? So you get all bondage geared up, whatever that might be, you get all this, straps and leathers and crazy things on. And, you're close to home. And the next thing you know, you didn't make it there. It's always like when you're closest to home. And then, the police lights come on and you get busted. Dressed in, I'm not saying that's what happened to this dude. This dude was probably doing some freaky shit. But I'm saying if this was, another case, in another scenario. If you plan on role-playing and stuff, maybe it would be better just to be in, costumes. Other than those, if you're going to be in your car. What if you was almost out of gas and you got to stop for gas and you're like, oh, damn it. And you got, the assless chaps on. And you need gas. You don't got a jacket. It's too late. You're already in the pants. And it's not many gas stations are going to still come out there and pump you gas. You'd be counting the miles, like how many miles will it get to get home? Or you think you were going to make it, or you're going to just take it, take one for the team. Use your credit card and, jump out real quick with the buttless chaps. Maybe keep your butt on your car as you, put the thing in the car. And then just hurry up and pump some gas. There could be some lot of awkward scenarios. But, still, getting pulled over by police, and, you can tell where, he was probably in a part of Royal Oak where they're like, look, this isn't somewhere where you would be, pretending to go do some role play with your family. You're in the gutters right now. Getting pulled over in the gutter, getting pulled out on bondage gear. You got a serious problem. Speaking of serious problems, a Boston high school had a field trip. I guess it was some big field trip. And everything was already done and paid for. It was time to go, time to get the trip going. So all they needed was the bus, to get the kids out there to the field trip. So they scheduled a bus. The people called and they're like, look, we got a problem. There's a bus shortage. And we don't have the bus that you ordered for your field trip. And the school's like, what do you mean you ain't got our bus? And they're like, ma'am, calm down, ma'am. And like, what do you mean, ma'am? I mean, calm down, ma'am. You say ma'am or man? Man, please calm down. So, we still have a bus on the way for you. There's no difference in the price. We're going to keep the same price as the bus, even though this one's more fully equipped with more things. There's no more charge. It's on us. Don't worry about that part. Just take this one instead. So the bus shows up, and they're like, we got to get the kids in a bus. And little did they know that they showed up in a fully equipped party bus, equipped with club lighting, tinted windows, and yes, humans, stripper poles. There was stripper poles in the party bus, and you got all these little elementary kids going on a field trip. I'm elementary kids, high school kids going on a field trip. All these kids probably had the funnest high school. The whole ride there was probably the funnest. They probably had more fun on the ride there and back. The teachers yelling at them, trying not to mess with the poles. I wonder how many of them was trying to mess with the poles. A lot of people's parents are trying to keep their daughters off of the poles. And then you're going to take them to a field trip with all this temptation in a party bus full of poles. It's a bad thing, schools. That's a bad thing. That's messed up on you. Imagine going to a field trip, going to Greenfield Village in a party bus and stripper poles. And then the other schools show up in regular buses and y'all are getting out at the same time. See all the teachers and chaperones like, oh, what's this? Bass pumping. And then all kids pumping out, swinging on all the poles and doing all, it's a jungle gym going crazy in there. A lot of kids will be jealous, Like, children, we got to line up and go over here to make candles. And they all want to go on the party bus. Anyways, at a grocery store, this woman was just doing her everything, what anybody does at a grocery store, man. You experience shit. I mean, you still got to get groceries sometimes, but nowadays you're experiencing shit. We had a stalker one time. I spoke on that in the previous episode. But anyways, this woman was out there doing the groceries, had her daughter with her, getting groceries. Went into the freezer aisle and wanted to get a snack, a very good snack that I enjoy myself. The pizza rolls. Yes, humans, we don't got to say the brand. Any brand of those little pizza rolls are a bomb. The little pizza rolls you can throw in the microwave, throw them in the oven, throw them in the toaster oven. They're damn good. So she was grabbing some of those, went into the freezer aisle, grabbed a bag, getting ready to throw it in the cart, puts her hand on the other side of the bag, put it in the cart. And yeah, something was smushy on the other side. So she turns it around, she starts to smell it, and yeah, she was like, it's shit. It was human poop. So she freaked out, made the scene like anybody else would, man, because it was human poop. And then they got the security involved. Excuse me. And when they reviewed the security tape, another woman had went in there, same freezer section, pulled her pants down, had an emergency, shit on the pizza rolls, and covered the shit with other pizza roll bags that didn't have shit on them. And then went back to grocery shopping and got the fuck out of Dodge. So this lady got shit on her hand because this lady had to go shit on the pizza rolls. I go to grocery stores and they do have restrooms. Not that I've ever gone in them. I don't know if they're, clean or not. But if it was like a crazy emergency, sometimes you got to do what you got to do. And I mean, sometimes you got to, and when I say that, I mean, you got to do what you got to do. But in a bathroom, maybe not such a clean bathroom, not on people's food. So yeah, the lady was really upset as anybody else would be. You got poop on your hand. She said the daughter kept ragging on her on the way home saying, Mom, I can still smell it. Even though she, got her hand really crazy clean there, She was just like the whole awkward wait home. She went home and even washed the shit out of her hand. And literally. But anyways, that's gross. And that's a snack, the grocery incident that involves a snack that I love. I quite enjoy those pizza rolls. And now I'm going to be looking twice when I go and grab those. I'm going to be looking, triple times. I'm just going to be tipping bags. Now when I see those open shelves of the freezer aisle or any aisle that's got those open shelves, I'm going to be checking now. And I recommend that other people do the same because you just don't know. You just don't know. That would be messed up. That'd be crazy messed up. I have a really gross story for you that happened to me one time with a bad product. Even though it's kind of not a bad product with shit in it. I just had a bad product one time. I used to love me some strawberry chocolate milks and those, the chocolate milks, the Quicks. And I would be like, man, I wouldn't drink them all the time. Just once in a while, oh man, I would just go on this I'll binge of strawberry chocolate milks. I would have some money up and oh man, I'm going to buy 2 of these, and some cupcakes of some sort. And I'm going to just drink these right now. I'm going to just do one setting. Pow. They were just really good. And so one time I had one and it was a bad one. And I opened it like I always do. You shake them up. You'd open it and I would just start chugging it. And that's what I did. I just opened it. I chugged it and I got some chugging on, before the smell and the chunkiness, hit. Or it hit. But I kept going for a couple seconds, not realizing what was happening. I was like, oh, that's chocolate. And then when the smell came in, I was like, that might not be chocolate. So I was like, that all happened in those quick couple of seconds. I, dropped the milk down, spit out what was left that I didn't, already consume. And got real sick, called the company, they, took care of me, all that kind of stuff. Wasn't no lawsuit thing or nothing like that. I just wanted I wanted a fresh milk. Okay. And that was not fresh milk. And that was really gross. It wasn't like human poop, but it was still nasty spoiled milk. And it was gross, man. It was just gross. And like I said, I had already was just gulp. I can remember it I was just a young kid, man, young teenager. And oh my gosh, I'll never forget that. That was super gross. Because the expiration date, was the current date. So you know what I mean? And I would check that on milk. I always would do that weird thing. I would do it on food too. I'd just take a food. I don't know why. I would just look at something hey man, all right, this is good for a little while. And I remember that having a good expiration date. But it didn't have what was in there was not the same product that it was claiming. That's for sure. That's for damn sure. That was just gross. And I thought I would share that with you. So I'll keep on venting. And maybe I'll keep some of those gross stories to myself. Unless you liked it. Anyways. Any churchgoers out there, here's something that might, instill your faith. No, I'm just kidding. It might make you want to go pray. Because apparently this priest was in trouble for embezzling all this money from his own church. He was stole all this money from the church, all this donation money, $116,000. And he spent all this money on drug-filled orgies. Yes, humans. Drug-filled drug-filled orgies with all our monies, all our prayer monies and stuff. When they go in there, like I said, I hate when I go to church. I love to go to church, but the thing that bothers me all the time is when they want your money, man. I don't think there was ever Jesus was like, look, I will save you, and then if somebody's going around with a bucket, to get some money. So I just that's the only part I don't like, but because that's a lot of money, and apparently they make so much money, this dude can go on these, drug-filled orgies and just have all these parties and then come back and, praise the Lord of Jesus. Praise the word of Jesus. That's wild. That's wild to me you can't. Obviously, he got in trouble, right? That's good that he got in trouble. Hopefully he, learns his lesson, or is he going to have some, drug-filled orgies when he's in jail? Because that's just crazy. I see those crazy, you'll see them people with TikToks and in social medias. It looks like they're in prison. Like, how these dudes going, how are they having social medias? And motherfuckers, like, got more followers than, like, some famous people and shit. And they'll be, like, fucking verified. There'll be some verified accounts. And these motherfuckers will be in prison. It looks like the fucking bed bunks. And they'll be showing you how to make gourmet food in prison. One dude pulled a gun out on TikTok, or one of them, I think it was TikTok. And he was in prison. He was like, look, I got a gun. And I'm in prison. And I'm like, holy shit. You got to worry about way more when you drop the soap these days. Is it like shit has evolved? They all got fucking camera phones and social medias. Like I said, some of them guys got verified legit accounts and like hella followers. And they're in prison. I don't understand how they're allowed to do that. It's crazy because it's like they're not like sitting there in the prison saying, you shouldn't be coming in here. These guys are making it like seem like it's fun and a cool place to be. Then it doesn't look like a fun and cool place to be. I mean, no matter because of TikTok, just because it's TikTok or whatever social media was on, doesn't make it funner to be in prison. Listen to that, humans. Pass that message on because it shouldn't be looking fun there. It shouldn't be like a fun place, a fun looking place. You should be terrified to go there and not want to go there. He's got, look, man, you can still have your cell phone. Look, you can still have a gun. Like, what? Look at that. You can still have a TikTok while you're in prison. This is bananas. This is just bananas. So anyways, all the time people say a lot of dumb things, just like me. Okay? But I found some celebrities that say a lot of dumb shit. And, this cancel culture thing is going out of hand. And maybe you shouldn't cancel things that are just like meant to be funny or jokes or anything like that. But here's some dumb celebrity quotes that should have got these people canceled because they were just like, just dumb. That's only not offensive other than just like I'm offended because it was dumb. And they were, I guess they weren't as dumb enough for me to not like read them because they were entertainment, but they were dumb enough. And I want to share them with you, these celebrity dumb quotes. Dumb celebrity quotes, humans. So, when someone visited Greece, they asked this famous gentleman, if he visited the Parthenon while you were out in Greece. And he replied, I don't remember the names of the clubs I visited. And that was Shaquille O'Neal. So they asked if he visited the Greek Parthenon in Greece, and he don't even remember. He thought it was a nightclub. Man, I don't remember the names of all them clubs we went to. Shaquille O'Neal. A celebrity dumb quote. Even though Shaq is awesome and funny. And there, that's proof right there that he's funny. All right, here's another one I got. Okay, this person, here's another celebrity dumb quote. I've never really wanted to go to Japan, simply because I don't like to eat fish. And I know that's very popular out there in Africa. That was quote by Britney Spears. Enough said on that one, huh? No. Some people are not like that, but she said it, not me. She didn't want to go to Japan because she don't like to eat fish because it's popular in Africa. Britney Spears. I just gave you the quick short version. All right, here's another one. Another celebrity dumb quote. No, I didn't go to England. I went to London. Celebrity dumb quote from Paris Hilton. That's hot. That was pretty hot, though. That's funny, man. She didn't go to London, man. She went to England. Or, vice versa. Here's another celebrity dumb quote. If everybody dropped out of school, we would have a much more intelligent society. That was a celebrity dumb quote from Jaden Smith. Will, man, you better go get these guys. You know, you got to grow up in a mansion with Uncle Phil, and they put you in a good school. I hope you didn't let your kids drop out of school and, thinking of that mess. If everybody dropped out of school, we'd be smarter. Here's another celebrity dumb quote. I'll just continue. Smoking kills. If you're killed, then you've lost an important part of your life. Well, no shit. I mean, the no shit part was me. But that was Brooke Shields. Brooke Shields said that. Smoking kills. And if you're killed, then you've lost a very important part of your life. Nice one, Brooke Shields. Nice one. When asked a question if he supports gay marriage, this was his answer. No, because I believe gay marriage should be between a man and a woman. And that was Arnold Schwarzenegger. He said he doesn't support gay marriage, but gay marriage should be between a man and a woman. Arnold Schwarzenegger. Here's another celebrity dumb quote. Yes, we're definitely going to be christening our child Brooklyn. Yes, let me start that over. Yes, we are definitely christening our child Brooklyn, but we don't know what religion yet. They're going to christen their child, but they don't know what religion yet. David Beckham. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and if you did, I'd appreciate it if you would hit me with a like, subscription, and turn on those notifications, because my name is Jaime, and this has been another episode of Meant to Vent. Till next time, humans, see ya.